Hey guys,
Hey,
we want to bring you our top 10 tips and tricks when you go to visit Yellowstone.
as you can clearly see behind us, the weather does not always cooperate, but we're going along with the program anyway.
Would you guys do us a solid? Would you hit the subscribe button? In between us, I'm going to stick a QR code. Would you also smash the like button and hit that notification bell? That way you always know when a new video comes out every single Thursday. All right, so let's just hop into it, you think?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So these are our top 10 tips for visiting Yellowstone Park, which happens to be one of our favorite, if not the favorite park that we visited on our coast to coast to coast trip.
Yep. So you want to kick us off with number one?
Sure. So number one, and we didn't realize this when we set up the trip, but it worked out for us. Stay inside the park. Campgrounds, whatever, stay inside the park.
Yeah, so we stayed at Fishing Bridge Campground. That is the only full hookup campground that is in the park. So you can research. They do have other campgrounds. Most of them, we looked, they don't have any water or any electric, let alone sewer.
Right.
So if you're looking for full hookups, you want to go to Fishing Bridge, and you want to book early because guess what? It books up fast. We booked like 8, 9 months.
8 or 9 months ahead, yep.
And we got the last couple spots for the week we wanted to be there.
So if camp is not your thing, there are alternative places to stay. Like Old Faithful Lodge is one. A beautiful, beautiful lodge when we visited.
Oh my
for
gosh.
sure. You saw it in the video.
The inside of that is just stunning. It's a masterpiece.
You have Canyon Lodge, and then also Roosevelt Lodge, which happened to be closed for renovations while we were there, but there's still plenty of places to stay.
I don't think it was open for the season because I think we were there kind of early in the Yellowstone season. We were there around Memorial Day weekend, and there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't open up until that weekend or early June. So I think we missed that opening.
Yes. And the big ticket thing about staying inside the park is it cuts down on that daily travel time, getting in and getting out of the park.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't have to wait in line in the morning. Getting out's really not that big a deal, but there is a line every single morning to get in the park.
Yeah, and there's multiple entrances to get into Yellowstone. West Yellowstone is probably, that and Gardner, I would say, are probably the two most popular entrances to get into. And they get jam-packed during the summer months. So staying inside the park, definitely a top tip.
And it puts you where the action is, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay, number 2 on our top 10 list is the best wildlife viewing is going to be early morning or dusk. And let me tell you what, we went out every morning around 8 a.m. and we were probably late to the party because when the sun comes up, that's when all the animals start coming out. And then we would go back to the camper maybe late afternoon, a little bit before dinner. We'd have dinner, we'd go back in the car, and we'd head back out. And I gotta say, it was a 10 out of 10. We saw animals every single night.
Yeah, and we stayed out just until dusk. I mean, some of the best viewing is in very low light, like right before it gets dark. So,
and you never know what you're going to see, yeah. So you got to do it.
And I can tell you, they're not on your schedule. They don't hang around waiting for you to ride by and see them for sure. So
yeah, and you know what? If you go back to number 1, staying in the park, doing this makes it so much easier because Yellowstone is massive. It is 2.2 million acres, and just even if you just drive the Grand Loop, you're not seeing all 2.2 million acres. There's a lot of backcountry to Yellowstone and a lot of stuff that we just don't get to go see. But if you stay in the park, it makes doing the wildlife viewing so much easier.
Yeah, and for sure, early morning at dawn, as soon as the light comes up, is your absolute best time. So if you're an early bird, that's key.
Yeah.
The problem is you need to be a late bird too because everything is active again just before dark. And we learned this very, very quickly in our trip.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where we couldn't get enough of what we were doing, so that our days were intentionally really long. And I'm so glad we did it that way because I didn't want to miss a second in Yellowstone. All right, so let me tell you something about wildlife. Don't be those people. Look, it's all fun to take a selfie with a bison or to take video of bear. When we took our video, we were a safe distance. One of the things we learned at Caprock Canyon was you hold your thumb out, and if your thumb blocks the animal, bison, bear, you're safe enough away. Because bison can run up to 35 miles an hour. And let me tell you what, Bears are pretty fast too. So make sure you give them their distance, especially in the spring. You don't know if there's a cub and it's a mama, or if we didn't see any moose, but if you happen to see a moose, you know, they could have their calves out with them. You just need to give them space.
Yeah, we've seen several videos and news releases of people getting gored by bison, and 90% of the time they were up in the bison's face, breaking his territory.
Don't do it. It's their space, y'all.
Yep. Because don't forget, we're just visitors. That's their home place.
Yes, absolutely.
So next on the list is pack a lunch.
Yep,
that's number 3.
Yep, number 3. Pack a picnic lunch. Y'all, Yellowstone is so spread out. You can't guarantee you're going to be near a lodge to be able to get a lunch or to get dinner or whatever. So, and let me tell you what, they have the most picturesque, most serene, most beautiful picnic spots. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, we picked up on that the first day. We were out running around. I was like, man, there's picnic spots there. And when I say spots, these are not picnic areas. They are off the beaten path, down by the stream, in a big field. I mean, it's somewhere you definitely
nestled
want to
in the woods a little bit.
It was definitely one of the better things that we did, because what happens if you don't take a lunch, it dictates how far out away from the lodges and places that you can go where there's food available. So taking a lunch gives you the freedom to pretty much come and go as you want throughout the park the entire day.
And you never know who's going to be a lunchtime companion. We had bison at our lunchtime spots on several occasions, and it's just amazing.
So what's next on the list?
All right, so number 4 is planned for all types of weather. The elevation in Yellowstone varies from about 5,000 feet above sea level to about 11,000 feet above sea level. And it depends on the activities that you're doing too. If you're doing any backcountry camping or backcountry hiking, you definitely need to be prepared, because the weather can change in an instant. It can go from sunny and nice to looking like this, where it's overcast and rainy in a split second. And we had feet of snow on the ground when we were there. We were there at the end of May, and it's not unheard of for them to have snow in July.
Yeah, and down at the campground we were staying, there was piles of snow, but the ground was pretty much clear.
Yeah.
A 20-minute drive can put you into a major snowstorm.
Exactly. When we left Fishing Bridge one morning, and we went a different direction when we turned left out of Fishing Bridge, and you go up in elevation, but it's such a gradual incline, you don't realize it. All of a sudden you notice there's more snow, there's more snow, more snow. Oh, there's a frozen lake right there. So you just have to be prepared for any type of weather whenever you go to Yellowstone. So layer your clothing. That's a great tip. Like Mike said, t-shirt on. He always wore shorts. Grab a hoodie. I always had a sweatshirt on with a t-shirt on underneath. It was just easy to peel that sweatshirt off if I got hot. Also, you need to know some roads, because of the snow, don't open until Memorial Day. We drove one road, I can't remember the name of it. I'll stick it up here when I go to look it up. It didn't open up until like a couple days after we arrived at Yellowstone. It's like that Friday, Saturday, depending on the weather. It doesn't open up until then.
Yeah, on their social media page, they were actually posting the big snow blowers out there, still blowing the snow high enough to get it over the piles of snow to open up the road.
Yeah.
Number 5, look for the people with the really long telescopic lens and spotter scopes, because those guys know what's going on, and typically they're looking at something, and they are more than willing to brag about their long lenses and big cameras and allow you to look at what's going on and let you know and fill you in on the action.
Yeah, and they were so nice. So we learned to do that. One of the rangers told us that. So we would stop when we were in Hayden Valley, and we asked them, what are you seeing? And they're like, oh, I see wolves over here, or there's a bear over this way. And they are so happy to share their equipment and let you see what they're seeing. It's absolutely amazing. So for you people, though, bring your binoculars, because I can guarantee you, if you see a traffic jam, there's wildlife, and it could be really far away, because again, you're trying to keep safe distances from the wildlife. So bring a decent pair of binoculars. You can get them on Amazon for about $100. Ours broke while we were
we lucked out and ours broke, and we wound up having to go into town and got another pair, because it was that important to have binoculars with you. And you don't have to have a really, really expensive pair.
Right.
But you want something that you can see a pretty good distance with. A wide field of view makes a difference, because once you see something, then you can follow it for a little while and really get a good look at it.
Yeah, we did meet a gentleman who had a really nice pair of binos, and they were made by Swarovski. Like, the people that make the crystals. They were like $8,000 for those.
We're not spending $8,000 on binoculars.
That's not in our budget. No. Number 6, hit the most popular spots in off-peak hours. So you want to do those like earlier in the morning or earlier in the day. I'd say before 9 or 10 o'clock if you can, or late in the evening. And that's what we did, like Old Faithful, Grand Prismatic, Norris Geyser Basin, and a lot of other places. They can get super crowded in the middle of the day. We tried to go to Norris Geyser Basin, as you
Actually,
guys...
twice. We tried
did,
to go.
and it was packed. It was like a mile to walk there from the overflow parking. And after you circle the parking lot twice and there's no parking, it's just not worth it.
So we went back at dusk and had the place to ourselves. It really, really raised our level of enjoyment, being able to go there and there was no crowds. We walked the boardwalk all through everything, 1 or 2 people there. We were there 4 or 5 hours before that, and you couldn't get anywhere near the place. The closest intersection was blocked off with traffic to try to even get in there.
And also just know that's another reason to stay inside the park, is because that gives you the opportunity. You're so much closer. Also, a lot of people that are staying like in West Yellowstone or Gardner or in other locations outside of Yellowstone, by like late afternoon, early evening, they've headed out to go out to dinner, to head back to the hotel to go rest and relax because they've been in Yellowstone all day. So it's the perfect time to go out and also hit up some of those more popular sites.
Yes.
I will tell you, we learned Grand Prismatic is best to see during the daylight hours. So you definitely want to hit that probably early morning. Dusk is probably not going to do it justice.
So number 7, and we picked this tip up at one of the visitor centers, talk to the rangers. They will tell you, if you go over here at this certain time of the day, a mama bear and 2 cubs were spotted. Or if you go over here, there's a pack of wolves that tend to hang around this time. All these animals are creatures of habit. Not saying they're on any kind of time clock, but it'll give you your best shot at seeing them if you pay attention to what the rangers say. And they're more than willing to talk to you and let you know what's going on.
So we stopped by the Fishing Bridge Ranger Station, and the ranger, she brought us this laminated thing that told us about each wolf pack, where they lived in the park, and the best times to see them. Now, we did see a wolf, but it was happenstance when we were coming back to Fishing Bridge, and the wolf just happened to be walking along around the river.
Yeah, on the shoreline, yep.
And she was just taking a tinkle and then probably looking for food. We did learn that the females do the hunting, and they go out to get the food for the family, or for the pack. So one of the other tips the rangers gave us, she said, the past several mornings, past couple weeks, there's been a grizzly out. If you take a left out of Fishing Bridge and you head this way, there's been a mama and a couple cubs. Well, we decided to do that one night when we were leaving for our evening wildlife search, and that's exactly what we saw.
Sure enough.
Up on the mountain, a mama and her 2, I would say they're probably yearlings, maybe 2 years old.
Yeah.
She'd probably get ready to kick them out. She probably has already kicked them out of the den. Definitely talk to the rangers. They want to give you information. They want to help. And they also want to know where you've spotted wildlife. So make sure you report wildlife back to them. All right, number 8, break up your driving days. We stayed about 5 days in Yellowstone, and we feel like that was the magic number to be able to really hit the bulk of things. Now, mind you, there's a lot of stuff we want to go back and either redo, or places we just didn't get a chance to see. We never got to Grand Prismatic. Would definitely like to do that.
Yeah.
Would like to do some of the easier hikes maybe that they have there in the park. While we didn't do it all, 5 days gave us a really good amount of time to be able to see it all. The Grand Loop is basically like a number 8. So we would do like the lower left part of the number 8 one day, and then the upper right part of the number 8 another day. So we broke it up into quadrants so we could see and spend quality time in each of those areas and really be able to immerse ourselves in the experience of Yellowstone.
Yeah, and that's another key point. Take your time when you're at each site. I have a bad habit of when we pull into somewhere, I'm already thinking about, all right, we need to leave here because we're going to go to this next spot. But take a deep breath, stand back, and take your time at each one of these areas. That's why we broke them down into different quadrants like we did, to allow us, that extra time there. Again, Yellowstone is 2.2 million acres. You're not going to see it all. Do a little bit of research, and the things that spark interest, put a note down, try to find out how to see them, but spend the time to take it all in and enjoy them.
And make sure when you're driving that Grand Loop Road, do the speed limit. Because let me tell you what, wildlife can come out at a moment's notice and you have to be able to react. So the speed limit inside Yellowstone is 45 miles an hour. And that might seem a little low to a lot of you guys, but it's that way for a reason because of the wildlife.
Well, that and the fact that sometimes you can come around a corner and you're smack dab right up on somebody's bumper because there is an animal traffic jam. When people see the wildlife, they literally just stop and get out of their cars. And I don't know how the rangers know, but within moments, they're crawling all over the place telling you, you got to move on, you got to move on. If you can't get all four wheels off the asphalt, you got to drive on. You can't stop, because people would literally stop in their tracks to get a shot at this, taking a look at the wildlife.
Yep.
Number 9, and this was absolutely key to us. I can't remember how we stumbled across it. How did we?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
So there are multiple like guide services out there, apps. And we downloaded one. And you can pay for, like, we bought it in like groups or little boxes of different things.
We got a bundle. We got Yellowstone. We got Yellowstone and Grand Teton.
Yep.
It's like $25.
This guy told us where to go, what time to go there. It was a guided tour that was based on where you begin, and it timed it at the speed limit and puts you basically in tune with
GPS.
Yeah.
It's GPS based, so he knows where you're at. And the name of this app is called Guide Along. And I'll put a link to it in the description below so you guys could check it out. We nicknamed our narrator
Jerry.
Jerry.
You know what? Jerry told us where to go, how long to spend there. We were driving along, and he's going to say, you know what? This next turn, you can go there. It's okay. If you skip this one and go to the next one, that's the place you really want to go. He definitely did not disappoint us. And it was something that was money well spent, and I highly recommend doing it.
He actually pointed out quite a few spots we would not have stopped at on our own. I definitely recommend Guide Along, and I definitely recommend you doing this for Yellowstone and Grand Teton. Any of the national parks. Number 10, be bear aware. Make sure you have bear spray with you. They highly recommend it. Make noise if you're taking a hike. You know, like just talking, singing a song, whatever. If you do encounter a bear, what we learned from a wildlife specialist in the national parks was don't run.
Yep.
Don't shout at the bear. Just back away slowly and say, hey bear, I'm here, and so are you. Wish we could share the space, but I'm going to back away now. Just be very prepared in the spring if you go, because there's lots of cubs out there and lots of mama bears. So just do your best. But let me tell you a funny story about what happened to us. So the night we went to Norris Geyser Basin, it was beautiful. It was peaceful. We were pretty much the only ones there. Mike decided he wanted to walk off, and he wanted to go find some other geyser or something that was like a quarter of a mile away. So Rob and Mary Lou and I said, okay, we're just going to hang out here, sit on these benches. Off goes Mike. He has the car keys and the bear spray with him.
First mistake.
Second mistake. First mistake was you taking the bear spray. Yes. Second mistake was us letting you walk away with the car keys too. So he's gone for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And all of a sudden, Rob and Mary Lou and I hear this. And the three of us looked at each other like, did you just hear what I heard? Because I heard something. And then we heard it again. So then I stand up and I start screaming his name. Mike Quaid! And he can't hear me. He's too far away. And I'm trying to walk in his direction and say his name. And I'm trying to be loud. Panic is starting to set in. Don't hear the noise anymore. I really do think it was bison. But let me just let me paint a better picture of me for you guys. So then I start high step marching and singing, this land is your land. This land is my land.
The marching was what did it. Whatever it was, the march just absolutely chased me away.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Needless to say, I got chewed out when I got back.
Oh my gosh. He finally heard us yelling for him.
Yep.
And he came back. But let me tell you what. It was a scary few moments because there was no shelter for the three of us.
There was nowhere for you guys to go.
No, because the car was closest, and beyond the car was the bathrooms. The bathrooms were the closest shelter that we had. So make sure if you do split up, somebody in each group has bear spray, because you don't want to be caught without the bear spray.
And do your research, because bear spray can be dangerous. You're supposed to shoot in like 3-second bursts. But do yourself a favor. Hopefully you never have to use it. But do your research on how to use it in case you do. Because if you spray this stuff into the wind and it blows back in your face, you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
Now you didn't scare the bear away, and now you can't see what's going on. I have no clue.
Right. One of the things that we learned at Grand Teton was to spray it down, because we naturally want to spray it up, but you want to spray it down. I guess then the mist comes up towards the bear. So that's something we learned. Haven't had to use it. Don't take our word as gospel. Just telling you that's what we learned from a wildlife specialist in Grand Teton. So just also look for signs of bear, scat, tracks, something fresh, then you know you're probably definitely near a bear. But for the most part, the bears that we saw really weren't bothered by people as long as they kept their distance.
Correct.
So I think that wraps up our top 10 tips. We hope you guys enjoyed that. We hope you enjoyed our Yellowstone series.
Yeah, the whole series, yes.
Yeah, because it was by far, I think it was my favorite stop.
Absolutely.
And we haven't even gotten to some of the other spots we're going to take you guys. Next week, you're going to join us in Grand Teton National Park. And that was just, I don't know, Mother Nature at her absolute finest. It was stunning.
So thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with us. And we couldn't do any of this without you guys. And we greatly appreciate every single one of you that watch our videos. So
We really do.
thank you.
We will see you guys at the next stop.
Bye.
Bye. Hey guys.
Hey.
Welcome to our no, that sounds stupid. Y'all, wildlife.
And I will let you know he did not disappoint and definitely didn't leave us. He did not disappoint and definitely didn't. What am I trying to say?
I don't know. I got nothing. I don't know what you're trying to say. Blah, 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 blah.
He definitely didn't point us at. All right, take 10.
Definitely recommend guide along, and I definitely blah, 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 blah. You might want a bell, but really and truly is Lily, can you not? Can you go around the way you came, honey?